Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1. Yes, people, welcome back to another Premier League match reaction. And what a game we've been treated to again in the Premier League. I can't believe it. I mean, Tottenham have won at the death to beat Liverpool 2-1. And they remain, alongside Arsenal, now the only two unbeaten teams in the Premier League. The teams from North London are cooking. We are cooking the teams from North London, man. Wow, what a game. I mean, it had absolutely everything. It had goals, it had red cards, it had dodgy VAR decisions. It had aggression, it had tenacity, and it had the last-minute win. I mean, everything you could want in a football game, it gave you. Now, I'm not going to say I went into this game as a neutral because I'm an Arsenal fan, so I am obviously going to have some kind of antipathy towards Tottenham Hotspur. But I wanted the draw. I understand that Tottenham have been flying under Ange Postecoglou. I can understand that Liverpool could be title challengers as well this season for us. So I knew as an Arsenal fan, a draw is probably the best result. But leaving this game and seeing Tottenham win, I don't know what it was, but I kind of low-key felt bad for Liverpool because obviously I thought the VAR decisions was dodgy. I mean, when we go for all of them, this reaction could last till midnight, guys. Honestly, it could last till midnight. There's so many decisions to talk through from both accounts. The red cards, the goal that was disallowed for Diego for Luis Diaz, which was proved, by the way, on beIN Sports that it was onside. I mean, bloody hell, man. I feel like Liverpool playing against Spurs and the referee at this point, and VAR and lobbing all on. But I will say, to counteract that, fair play to Tottenham Hotspur. Fair play to them because playing against 10 men is hard, trust me. Playing against 9 men, although you're guaranteed to basically win that football match, like everyone's thinking you have to win from that point, it's still very hard because Liverpool knew exactly what they were doing when they went down to 9 men, man. 5 at the back, 3 midfield, defend narrow, and that was it. Just hold it out. And it was still tough, but they kept going, and they found a way to win the football match. And that goal, when they scored that goal for own goal from Matip, right? The first thought that went to my head, guys, as an Arsenal fan, the first thought that went to my head was Reece Nelson's winner against Bournemouth. It felt exactly the same for me. I don't know what it is. I know obviously you can say, oh, but this is different. It's against Liverpool, not Bournemouth. And there was red cards involved, etc. But as an Arsenal fan, I genuinely thought when that goal went in, the first thought that went into my head was that Reece Nelson goal. I just thought like, wow, this could be a turning point for Spurs. Spurs could honestly go on a title challenge this season. As an Arsenal fan, I'm going to go out there and say it. Spurs could go on a title challenge. Now, I understand it's very early. I understand that if James Maddison gets injured, Son gets injured, their season could derail. But I said at the same time, if Spurs did not win this game against Liverpool after playing against 9 men for 20, 25 minutes, that could equally derail their season because you can't not beat a team when they've got 9 men for 25 minutes. I'm sorry, man. You're playing against 9 men. Liverpool chasing shadows at times. They had to win that game, Tottenham, and they found a way to do it. And we've seen my team Arsenal in previous seasons find last-minute winners, whether it was Reece Nelson, like I said, Declan Rice this season against Manchester United. Good teams find a way to get last-minute winners. Some will say it's luck. Others will say it's persistence. Either way, they find a way to win games. And Tottenham today found a way to win that football game. Yes, you could say they did not deserve it. I thought a lot of decisions were bang unlucky in Liverpool's favour. But you still find a way to win that game. You understand that at 1-1, doesn't look like you're going to find a winner. Looks like everything's against you, despite the fact you're playing 11 against 9. You can't find a way to put the ball in the back of net. Alisson's making wonder saves. You keep going, you keep at it, you stay persistent, and you find a way to put that ball in the back of net one way or another. So, and Tottenham did that. So I have to give Tottenham a heap of credit for that, man. A heap of credit. But at the same time, man, let's look at some of the decisions because that, in my opinion, and I think in everyone else's opinion, dictated this football match. Because some of the decisions were absolutely criminal, man. Absolutely criminal. Let's start with number 1, the red card for Curtis Jones. Now, I've seen a lot of debate online about this one. This is my opinion. I think that was a red card. I genuinely think it was a red card. Now, many will say online, no, it's not a red card. He went for the ball. His foot slipped. Yes, I agree with that 100%. 100%. He was very unlucky, Curtis Jones, because his ball did slip over the football and caught, who was it? I think it was Yves Bissouma, right? So very unlucky. I do agree with that 100%. But one thing I will say is this, right? That has to be a red card because we've seen when you've got the screenshot out of his foot, Curtis Jones' foot planted on Yves Bissouma's shin/lower leg, it has to be a red card because that's what it is in this day and age. Those type of challenges are red cards because they can lead to leg breakers. Yes, Yves Bissouma did not break his leg on this occasion, but those type of connections with your foot stud showing on the leg have led to leg breakers in previous seasons. Therefore, you have to give it as a red card to stay consistent. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't unlucky. I'm not saying that it was one of the softer red cards out there because I think it was a softer red card, definitely. But for me, I think it was a correct decision to give it a red card on this occasion. But then we move on to the goal for Luis Diaz, right? I knew it was dodgy as soon as that VAR decision took 4 seconds or something. Genuinely, we've seen VAR decisions take 2, 3, 4 minutes. This decision got flashed up for 3 seconds, then it got pulled off and no lines were drawn. I remember sitting watching that game, turning to my dad and thinking, hang on a minute, that was a bit dodgy, right? Like literally, the decision got shown for about 4 seconds. There was no lines drawn, and then the game just played on. I was thinking, hang on a minute, that looked onside. Like, because the way the grass is cut, right, you can see the lines in the grass. And for me, it looked miles onside. I remember seeing that, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, he's onside. Then before I even got a chance to analyze it, it got taken off the screen. I was thinking, what's going on? That's like clear and obvious onside. Now, I kind of forgot about it for a little bit. Then on halftime, I looked on Twitter, and Bayin Sports, Richard Keys and was it Alan Gray? I can't remember what his name is, right? Was showing it, and they were drawing the lines themselves, and it was given as an onside decision. And I was thinking 100% it had to be onside. So Liverpool must feel robbed there. PGMOL have got an absolute tough job explaining and justifying that one. Because to me, that was a stonewall onside decision. I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest, man. I have no clue what they were thinking with that one. So they've got a lot to account for themselves there. That was a plain and obvious bad decision there. They didn't even draw the lines. It's inexcusable, man. Like, how can you have technology and not draw the lines? You've literally got as much time as you want to draw those lines, man. And he didn't. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. Like, it has to be an onside decision there. Either way, Liverpool go down the other end and still find a way to score the goal. Fantastic goal there. Then we've got the second red card decision. Now, the first one was not a yellow card. In my opinion, it wasn't even a foul. He tripped himself, Destiny Udogie. Then the second one was a yellow card. So this is how I look at it. I look at it from 2 angles. One, it shouldn't have been a red card because the first one shouldn't have been a yellow, let alone a foul. The second way I look at it is this. I understand it wasn't a foul and wasn't a yellow card, but you understand you've been booked and given a yellow card. So you understand you've given away a foul and been booked to Diogo Jota. Why are you diving in for that second one, bro? Why are you doing that? Like, you've been booked now. You understand that it's probably the wrong decision, but there's no need to fly in because you give the referee no choice. He has to send you off in that situation. So I think there's multiple accountants there, but I do think that it was a very dodgy game. Definitely very dodgy game. Liverpool feel hard done by here. Very hard done by, man. They did not deserve to lose this football game. They didn't deserve to lose this game. A draw was the minimum they deserve from this football match, Liverpool. Minimum they deserve. But look, football is not a fairy tale. If it was a fairy tale, it'd be invested in by Disney, man. It'd be called the Disney Premier League. But it's not the Disney Premier League. Premier League is harsh. Elite level football is harsh, man. It's harsh. Margins decide football matches. And you can get unlucky for your own errors. But what's even more frustrating is when you realize that you lost the game where, yes, Matip scored a last-minute own goal, but you understand that you got robbed in certain aspects in this game. Whether it was a red card decision, whether it was the offside/onside decision. You understand you got robbed. But this is elite level sports, man. And for me, this is not a Liverpool or Tottenham thing. This is more an understanding that the referees in this country, and I've been saying it for a long time now, the referees in this country are incompetent. I've said that for an awful long time. I understand that referees will make wrong decisions. I appreciate that. But you can't make wrong decisions consistently. And you can't make wrong decisions when you've been given technology that can go fast, can go slow, you can go in different angles, 100 different angles, and you still make the wrong decision. I want to see the audio tape release for that goal, man. I want to see the audio tape release. Because there's no way in any universe that should be given as offside. No way. Me sitting here, I'm looking at thinking there's no way that's offside. Did the referee not look at Romero? Was he only looking at Diaz and the player next to Diaz? I'm not too sure, but for me, I think that was absolutely criminal, to be honest, man. Definitely should have been a goal. But look, it's one of those things, man. Let's get into some of your comments, by the way. They are so lucky, says RD12. Appreciate your stream, by the way, my friend. They were lucky, but some will say luck, some will say persistence. I'm saying persistence, man. I think Spurs did well to keep going. Look, when it went down to 9 men, Spurs did not recycle that ball quick enough, man. What did I say in the review after the Bournemouth-Arsenal game? The tenets of football. Attack wide, defend narrow. When Liverpool went down to 9 men and they had 3 centre-backs in the box, Tottenham kept crowding the middle of the pitch. Attack wide, bro. Double up on wide areas, then drive in. And lo and behold, where do all the goals come from? Wide areas. Whether it was James Maddison passing through to Richarlison, made a brilliant diagonal run, then slotting it in for Son, scored a similar goal that was correctly ruled offside in the second half. And then you got the final goal, the goal that won the game. Ball got recycled out to the right-hand side for Pedro Porro, acres of space, flashes it across the box. And look what happens. When you put the ball in the danger area, things happen. And they got a bit of luck. They got a slice of luck like Joel Matip directed it into his own net. But good things tend to happen when you get the ball out wide and flash it across the box, man. And that's what they did. I thought Spurs were very wasteful in the middle of the game. In the last 20 minutes. But this is the way I look at it, right? You have to win. When it's 11 versus 9, you cannot not win that football match. You have to win it. Credit to Liverpool because they hung in very well. And this is the thing about Liverpool Football Club, right? If there's ever a team you do not want to play against when they've got 9 or 10 men, it's Liverpool. When they got a man set up, I said Liverpool actually get better with 10 men because Liverpool have got siege mentality about them. They've got that like us against the world mentality and that aura about that football club. I can't lie. When they were down to 9 men, I could only hear the Liverpool fans in the crowd. I didn't even hear any Spurs chants. Only when they scored, I heard Spurs. The rest of the time, it was all Liverpool. And I really respect that about Liverpool Football Club, because they didn't give up in this football match. Yes, I understand that it got a little bit dogged, and I understand it got a little bit aggressive towards the end of the game, and tempers got flown a little bit. But for the most part, Liverpool were really good. They kept their heads for the most part. They were strong in the challenges. They obviously made sure to defend well. They were calm. They held on to the ball in wide areas. They didn't give away any cheap chances. I thought Liverpool were very solid. And they can walk away from this game thinking they were very, very unlucky to not get at least a point, at the very least a point. But look, this is elite level sports, man. Elite level sports is not going to be fortunate. Elite level sports is not going to come out here and say, oh, we deserve this and we should have got this point and we didn't get it. It's a travesty. This isn't Disney, man. This isn't a fairy tale. This isn't Hollywood. This is elite level sports that is decided by the margins. And Liverpool today lost out on the margins, whether it was a referee making marginal wrong decisions or Joe Matip marginally not clearing the ball over the bar, but instead into his own net. It's the margins, man. Jeff, appreciate John Shoe, my friend. That we're doing well. Routine match, nothing much happened here, man. I think Stevie Wonder would describe it as that, to be honest, man. And Ray Charles. For everyone else, what a football match, man. What a game. I want revenge so badly. But here's the thing, right? I feel less bad to draw to Tottenham now after Liverpool lost to Spurs. If Liverpool had won this game, I would have been pissed that we drew to Tottenham last week. I still think we should have beaten Tottenham, and I still think if we had our strongest 11, we would have beaten Tottenham. But it's one of those things, man. Name blocked. Appreciate John Stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. 12 versus 9. The FA and referee are Spuds fans. You have to look at it that way, to be honest, man. Look, I'm not a Tottenham fan. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm an Arsenal fan. So many would say I've actually more bias towards Liverpool than I am to Tottenham, because obviously I'd rather Liverpool win than Tottenham. But I like to think I'm a very unbiased football fan when I react on this channel. And I have to say that Liverpool got thoroughly unlucky today, man. With the VAR decision regarding the red cards. And for me, worse than the red cards was the onside goal, because red cards are at least debatable. Red cards, you can at least debate saying, oh, it wasn't a red card. It was a red card. It was subjective. With VAR, there's nothing subjective about it. Sorry, with offside, there's nothing subjective about it. He's on or he's off. It's black and white. It's ones and zeros. That I'd be more hard done by the fact that was given offside. Because look, I understand that they still found a way to get a 1-1 goal. Maybe they would have still gone on to win the game. But you never know, man. If Luis Diaz makes it 1-1, it's a different football match. You never know. So I feel very hard done by in that respect, to be honest. Let's go, but my heart goes out to Liverpool. We at least drew to a good team is all I'm feeling right now. Well, you make a good point here, Anish. Now I want to make a point off the back of that, right? Because Tottenham are doing really well under Ange Postecoglou. Are Tottenham Hotspur in a title race? I want to hear it. Are Tottenham Hotspur in a title race? Let me know in the live chat, man. I want to hear it. Do you think Tottenham are in a title race? I think Tottenham are in a title race, guys. I genuinely think so. Look, Tottenham are in a title race, but I understand that I don't think they're going to win the league. Make no mistake about it. I think Tottenham are in a title race, but I don't think they're going to win the league at all. But the reason I think they're in a title race, right, is because of two reasons. One, the squad's got momentum and they have not lost a game so far. 7 games, 5 wins, 2 draws is a fantastic return. You played Liverpool, you played Arsenal, you played Manchester United, you played Brentford, and you've got 5 wins and 2 draws. Fantastic return on your games played. Secondly, when you win games like this, it's hard not to be in a title race. Liverpool have done it when they won the league. Arsenal were doing it last season. Last minute winners, teams either get them or they don't. When it comes to the last 20 seconds of a match, luck is a massive factor. Massive factor, right? Tottenham could not control Joel Matip putting that ball in the back of his net. They can't. That is just a freak incident where Joel Matip doesn't clear the ball right. 9 times out of 10, he clears it out for a corner, out for a throw-in, or out into the other half of the pitch. But on this occasion, he clears it perfectly into the top corner of his own net. You couldn't have placed it better yourself. That is a freak incident. And freak incidents tend to fortune teams that go on title runs. It's just what it is, man. It's just what it seems to be. Now, I don't think Tottenham are going to win the league because I think an injury to Maddison, an injury to Son, an injury to Bissouma could derail their season a little bit. But I do think that Tottenham right now have got momentum, and it's hard to count against them. Remember last season, guys. Last season, no one thought Arsenal would be in a title race. Then we won 4 games in a row, lost to United, won 5 games in a row, lost to Manchester United. And everyone was like, oh, they still could be in a title race. You never know. Then they won their next 2-3 games. And suddenly people are thinking, hang on a minute. After 9 games, Arsenal won 8, lost 1. How can they not be in a title race? A similar thing's happening right now to Tottenham. Everyone's thinking they can't be in a title race. They lost Harry Kane in the summer. Their team ain't that good. But they've won 5 and drawn 2. They've got the same points as Arsenal. They're unbeaten alongside Arsenal. They're both North London clubs are the only unbeaten clubs in this Premier League right now. How can they not be in a title race right now? People underestimated Arsenal last season. Why underestimate Tottenham right now? I think they can be in it. Look, I do think it was very harsh, and you could say they could count their blessings in this game. But I think to be honest with you guys, man, Tottenham could be in a title race. I don't think they're going to win it. Make no mistake about it. But it's hard to count against them right now. They're a tough team. They got a point at the Emirates last week. Arsenal's one of the toughest games to play. And they got a point and deserved a point at Arsenal. The first yellow was unfortunate for Jota. Agree. I thought he was very bang unlucky in that first yellow. I'm annoyed, Lord Matip. It's one of those things, man. It happens. Own goals happen in football. At this point, Liverpool must practice playing with less players. We're playing with less players, less than 11. Yeah, I mean, they've had, 4 red cards this season already in the Premier League? I mean, they're playing more games with 10 than they are with 11 at this rate, man. Crazy. Paul, I don't think so, Dennis. Liverpool gave them the match. Liverpool did give them the match, but make no mistake about it, right? I think the refs gave them the match, less than Liverpool. Liverpool defended well. Liverpool with 9 men are still a tough team to play against. Make no mistake about it, man. I know 11 versus 9, you have to win that game, but you got to sit there and think Liverpool still defended very well with 9 men. Very well. But they found a way to break them down and win that football match. And that's all that matters at times, man. Find a way to win the game. And they did that, Tottenham. So you got to respect them for that. Referee trash, yeah. Once again, crap refereeing decisions. He needs to be looked into. I agree, man. Criminal. I was 10 seconds away from getting the score correct. Why football? I said 1-1. Yeah, man, you were. But look, man, it happens. It happens. I mean, earlier today, Jeff was about, 3 minutes away from getting his score prediction right for Bournemouth Arsenal, 3-0. So it happens in football. I put 3-1 Tottenham in my prediction because I just think Tottenham were going to be better than Liverpool on the day. And I can't say, obviously, I got the result right, but I can't say that I think Tottenham were better than Liverpool by a mile. I think the referee decided this game. Big up, Luca. Appreciate you on stream, my friend. Is Postecoglou now in the elite tier? Ooh, it's still a little bit early, man. It's still a little bit early. But I'm telling you, I really like this guy, man. I really do like Ange Postecoglou an awful lot. But it's a bit early to put him into the elite tier just yet. But I will do a revised tier list soon. And let me know any other tier lists you want me to do regarding football. Do you want me to do stadiums, clubs, fan bases, rivalries? I've got plenty of tier lists I can do in football. I can even do foreign, like, you know what I mean? Like Champions League teams, etc. All sorts of tier lists, all sorts of football ideas. I really don't like Richarlison playing out wide. Yeah, me neither. I think, look, you don't really want strikers playing out wide. But one thing I will say is I prefer Son at striker. And obviously, Brennan Johnson was injured, so he couldn't play. And I think he just preferred Richarlison to, what's that guy's name, man? Manuel Solomon. So Son has to play through the middle, in my opinion. I think that's his best position. So Richarlison to get in the team has to play on the left. And I think, therefore, it makes sense. I would rather Richarlison play left wing and Son striker than Richarlison striker and Son left wing, personally. So I liked it. And look, Richarlison had those runs from in behind. And they scored 2 goals like that today, Tottenham. I understand one was offside and it was correctly ruled offside, but that was a constant threat throughout the whole game. Luke in the chat. Yeah, man. Luke is always joining the chat. Straight up red card for Jones. I have no issues with that at all. Yeah, I agree. I think that was a red card, the Jones one. I think it's debatable, though. I think it is subjective, but I do think the one on Jota was a little bit dodgy, the first yellow. I've seen somebody get away with fouls like Jota's second yellow without a second card. Yeah, I agree. And I thought the referee would let him get away with it, to be honest, because obviously they're already down to 10 men. I know that doesn't really make sense, but I feel like refs psychologically don't like giving 2 red cards to the same team in a game because they feel like that if they make a decision on it, they actually are changing the impact of the football match and changing the result in that respect. But the referee, fair play to him, he gave 2 red cards, man. He did not shirk that one. Okie dokie, appreciate Jones, my friend. Never a red. Both players hit the ball at the same time, which forced Jones' foot over the ball. Unfortunate, but nothing else he could have done. Look, I agree with you 100% that it was unfortunate. But for me, I just personally think it was a red card. Look, this is an Arsenal fan. I would do anything to see Tottenham lose that football match. But I do think that it was a red because of the fact that the repercussions that can spawn from that. I understand that Bissouma did not break his leg, but those challenges have been leg breakers in recent seasons and throughout football history. So I think it was a right decision to give a red card. I'm not saying it wasn't unlucky. It was definitely unlucky. I think Jones did not mean whatsoever to plant his foot on Bissouma's shin/lower leg at all. I agree with you 100%. His foot slipped over the football. But it's one of those things, man. It happens. Similar things that happened to Aubameyang a few seasons ago against Crystal Palace. It's one of those things. Same with Nketiah against Leicester a few seasons ago. Diaz's goal was onside, bro. VAR is high. 100% agree with you, man. I'd be more aggrieved with that. I thought that was miles onside. I don't know what they were smoking up in the VAR room. Also, sorry, man, I was overreacting your chat in the last stream. I can't remember what you were overreacting about. No worries whatsoever, C1. They are after Liverpool this season. What VAR? Yeah, man. Us last year. Do your job. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm not a Liverpool fan either, and I'm pissed with VAR. Look, I understand that VAR is going to make wrong decisions. Referees will make the wrong decisions. They're humans. But they're making too many wrong decisions, man. Like, in your job, right? Say you're employed. If you make a mistake, it's fine. Everyone makes mistakes in your job. But if you make the same mistake week in, week out, day in, day out, you're going to get fired eventually, right? Why is there no repercussions with PGMOL? I can't wait for Howard Webb to come out and explain that one, bro. He's going to need a chat GPT script to explain how that wasn't given as a onside call. Because that was a stone wall onside decision. I don't know what they're smoking up in the VAR camp, man. Because for me, it just looked dodgy from minute 1. The goal happened, right? It got ruled offside. I was thinking, all right, cool. It got ruled offside. I thought it was tight at the time, but I didn't really question it. Then it flashed up. I was thinking, this looks onside. I'm thinking, right, it has to be onside. Get the lines out. Then at least we can justify it. When Garnacho was ruled offside and when Nketiah was ruled offside for Man United against Arsenal and for Arsenal against Everton, I didn't really complain because I understood that the lines were drawn, so fair enough. If the lines are drawn, at least I can see why they've given it as offside. So even when Arsenal against Everton, I did not complain. Same with Garnacho against Arsenal, right? But today, the lines were not drawn. At least I did not see the lines get drawn on Sky Sports. And I can only judge it off what I'm seeing with my own 2 eyes. And so because the lines weren't drawn, I was thinking, that's dodgy, man. It flashed up for 6 seconds, genuinely. 6 or 7 seconds, it got flashed up. Then it got taken off the screen, check complete. I was thinking, where were the lines? Like, where was the line? Surely it wasn't that wide apart for them to not need the lines. That was case in point, a tight call. Lines weren't drawn. I was thinking, that's dodgy, man. And lo and behold, halftime, I scroll through Twitter, Bein Sports exposing PGMOL, Stonewall onside decision. They messed up. They've got a lot of accountability to hold for that one. They should bring the bot technology for offside that was used at the World Cup. Agree, man, because clearly humans aren't making the right decisions. Might as well bring in robots. Yes, they are. They have a lot of power. I agree. No, I appreciate Josh, my friend. Hope you're doing really well. As a Liverpool fan, that was the hardest game to watch. I agree. I really hope they investigate that VAR room and that referee needs to be sacked. I agree with you, man. 100% agree with you in that respect. Because, look, that was really, really bad decision, in my opinion. Really bad decision. Look, the red cards are subjective. Red cards, I agree, were also harsh. But at least with red cards, right, you could debate it. Because it's connection. Was it intentional? Was it not intentional? Red cards, you can debate. They're subjective. The offside is objective. It is true or false. It is black and white. It is night and day. It is ones and zeros. You're offside or you're not offside. There's no debate to it. There's no sitting there thinking, oh, he might be onside. Oh, it could be this. No, you're onside or you're offside. And I saw that in live and I was thinking, that's tight. Gave it offside, I didn't complain. When it's flashed up on the screen, I'm sitting there thinking, right, that's going to go to VAR, draw the lines, 1-1 Liverpool, game on again. They don't draw the lines. They don't even really do anything. They just say check complete. The only explanation I can give, genuinely the only explanation I can give, and it's not even a valid explanation whatsoever, is they didn't look at Romero. That's the only explanation I can give. They just didn't see Romero and just judged Diaz with the plane behind him, who I believe was Pedro Porro. That is the only explanation I can give because there's no other explanation for why that wasn't given as onside because I can't see it. Maybe someone in live chat can enlighten me, but for me, that was a stonewall. Has to be a onside decision. I don't know what they were smoking up in that VAR room, man. They should also mic up referees at the NFL and other US sports. Agree with that. I've been saying that for years, man. Get a referee to explain the decision to a crowd. Weren't they doing that in the Women's World Cup? I did not watch the Women's World Cup, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure they did that in the Women's World Cup. Someone was telling me they do it. So, yeah, I 100%, I've been calling for that for years. I've heard the Saudi League wants to sign foreign referees. Hope these guys get all sent there. Bro, if they want to sign English referees, ship them all out, man. Ship them all out. We need the Champions League refs. I'm telling you. Referees need to be improved upon. Look, I understand it's a tough job. I do, man. I understand it's a tough job. But with VAR, you can't mess up, man. You've got a cheat sheet. At least before VAR, you can understand that, they didn't see it. It was in fast. It was fast motion. They didn't really see it. They might have got the angle wrong, etc. Fine, you've got excuses. With VAR, you've literally got a cheat sheet. You can slow it down. You can speed it up. You can look at this angle, that angle. You could you can look at from behind the player, in front of the player, etc. You've got so many different angles. You've got so many different speeds. Everything, anything you could ask for, it's there at the touch of a button. So I don't get it how you can mess up. I genuinely don't get it. You've literally got a cheat sheet. That's like me entering a test with all the answers on the right-hand side, and I'm still not answering the questions right. How? Like, how? Put me in the VAR room. I promise you I'd get more decisions right. And I've not done any refereeing training whatsoever. I promise you. And that's not me bigging myself up. Everyone watching in this stream could probably get the decision right. All it is just dropping a line on there. ChatGPT could judge it better, man. I think it's criminal. Honestly, criminal. No, they are not in a title race. Then they will falter by March. Yeah, look, I don't disagree with that. But right now, they are. Right now, they're in a title race. Objectively, they're in a title race right now. Would they be in a title race in 2-3 months' time? Probably not. Because if Maddison gets injured or Son gets injured, it could be a long day. And look, Tottenham might lose a football game. They might capitulate. But right now, as we look at it, for me, Tottenham are in a title race. They're proving it. Because look, same thing happened with Arsenal last season. My club Arsenal got underestimated until about February, January. Up until January, February, no one really thought about Arsenal. They're going to fall away. They're going to fall away. They're going to fall apart. So then when everyone started thinking, hang on a minute, Arsenal might win the league here. Arsenal actually should win the league. That's when Arsenal started to fall away. When the pressure got on Arsenal's shoulders, we faltered. So let's put pressure on Tottenham right now, man. Pressure them. You're in a title race. You need to win the league, etc. Start pressuring them. Then they'll crumble. That's at least how I think about it. But look, I don't think Tottenham are going to win the league. But I do think right now they're in a title race. They proved it. 5 wins and 2 draws. Same points as Arsenal. Both North London clubs are the only unbeaten teams in the Premier League this season. They're in a title race for me. Not really. Tottenham will drop their points, but it's Prem. One can't predict a league like this, right? 100%, man. No one can predict it. I mean, Man City lost today. Made no mistake about it. I still think Man City are favourites to win the Premier League, but they lost today to Wolves. Who would have thought? Not me. They are not Arsenal. The ref is a secret fan of Spurs. Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy decision, to be honest, man. Crazy decision. I still don't know how that was given offside. I still, like, even right now, explaining it, I can't. At least with there's been decisions in the past, right, where at least I can see both sides of the coin. I can see, oh, you know what? Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Like I've said, red cards are subjective. I think the red cards were very harsh. I think the first one was a red card, but it's debatable. And I think the second one, it was a red card for the second challenge, but the first challenge was not a yellow card in my opinion. But at least with red cards, it's debatable. It's subjective. You can say, oh, the referee didn't see quite the angle. They paused it at the right moment or the wrong moment, etc. With offsides and onsides, I genuinely don't know how you can get that wrong. I don't know how. Unless it's so marginally tight that it just looks onside or offside by the naked eye, I understand it. But that one, everyone that saw that thought that was onside. I don't think a single person saw that without the lines and thought, hang on a minute. Nah, that's blatantly on offside. The only reason the lines should not be drawn is if it is night and day offside. Like Tottenham's second goal with Richarlison squaring it to Son. When that was ruled offside, the lines weren't needed because it was blatantly offside, man. It was like this apart. Genuinely this apart. But for the Luis Diaz goal, it looked very tight. It looked like, right, if anything, he's onside. So they should have drawn the lines. I can't explain it, man. I can't. Even now, I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. Spurs are in the top race for top 4, not title. 2 line on Son, Madison, and Bissouma. Lose any one of them for a spell and they're in trouble. Exactly. I do agree with you in that respect, 100%. But right now, I see it as I see it, man. Until they fall away, they're in it for now. But the thing is, they don't have a European football to worry about. Exactly. Very good point. So maybe Tottenham could give a good fight. Arsenal last season with Europa League, right, didn't suffer a lot of injuries. Yes, we got a few critical injuries, like Saliba said earlier today, right, that if he didn't get injured with his back, Arsenal probably would have won the Premier League. So we had a few critical injuries last season, Arsenal, that cost us. But for the most part, we didn't have a lot of injuries. This season, Arsenal had injury after injury after injury. Because why? Champions League football. Premier League, Champions League, Premier League. It's not for the faint-hearted. Players are playing intense football. With the extra added time as well in football matches, you're playing nearly 100 minutes a game, at least. Tottenham don't have to worry about that. They just have to play week in, week out. They're knocked out the Carabao Cup as well. So they've just got 1 game a week until the FA Cup starts. So they've got plenty of time for rest and recuperation. And they can give their all for 90 minutes every week. I think Spurs fans got to have a lot to be excited about, especially with Ange Ball. Fact Chef, tier list 2000 Premier League players versus modern day. Blood. 2000 Premier League players. I don't get that. Refine that one, please, from Mele, because I really don't understand that one. Are you talking about the Premier League players of the 2000s versus the Premier League players today? Because if so, sure, I can do that one. If you ask me to rank 2000 players, absolutely not, man. I'll last like 5 hours that stream at least. I'm not being biased, but that might have been Tottenham's best chance of beating us at the Emirates, especially with Jorginho and Havertz in the middle finishing that game. Yeah, I agree with you, Huddersfield. They should have gone for that match, man. Do a home and away kit tier list or a sponsors one out. Chelsea signed new sponsors today, so every club now has one. Good idea. Sponsored one's a bit of a niche one. I don't know about that, but I'll do home and away kit tier list. That's a good idea, man. Yes, Rory. Best derbies would be a great tier list, but the research work is too much on that. Don't worry, man. I'll just do it on my head. It's opinion based, man. It's opinion based. But yeah, I'll do a best derbies one as well. Good idea. According to the rule book, it's a red, but situationally, he had nothing he could do to avoid that. Tottenham fans knew that decision was harsh on Jones. They booed the ref. I think they more booed when they saw the decision on the screen and realized that it was a tough challenge. I don't think they would boo the referee, to be honest. Tottenham fans, especially given that the opposition got a red card. But one thing I will say is your statement, that first part is 100% correct. And exactly my decision, exactly my opinion as well. According to the rule book, it's a red. Situationally, it's harsh. He couldn't avoid it. His foot slipped over the football. But you have to give a red card there because that's the letter of the law. I understand why red was given. The refs could bend the rule book for these kind of situations, but that would throw consistency out the window. Well, here's the thing. They bang on about consistency. They're never consistent anyway, man. You might as well give the decision you think it's going to be because you're never going to be consistent. PGMOL needs to be disbanded. 100% agree. Rugby, they did. They're dodgy. They got paid as well. Here's the thing, man. PGMOL is a stinker. Absolute stinker. I still right now don't know how it was given as offside. I still right now don't know what they were thinking in that VR room, smoking up in that gaff, to think that was anything other than an onside decision. I feel sorry for Liverpool, man. I genuinely do. Look, I wanted to draw in this game. That was my personal opinion. I wanted to draw because obviously as an Arsenal fan, I'm looking at it thinking both teams doing well right now. A draw would be perfect. But seeing that game, I feel sorry for Liverpool, man. Because even with 9 minutes, defended so well. They're marking up the referees at Women's World Cup. Yes, there we go. Do your bloody job. Exactly, man. Do your job. Call the right decisions, man. It's not subjective. With red cards, I at least understand the referees. I at least can have some kind of understanding. Because look, red cards and penalties and free kicks and all that stuff, I at least sympathize a little bit with the referees because it's subjective. Offside calls, I will never ever sympathize with the referees, man. Never. Because it's onside or offside. You can't mess that up. You genuinely can't. Unless it's so tight that it's marginally, you can't literally get that wrong. It's impossible to get it wrong. FA should sort out the referees, especially in VAR. If you guys follow cricket VAR, third umpire decision, it was very clear they use Mike to give the decision and takes time to give the correct decision. Yeah, Jordy, 100% agree with you, my friend. I appreciate John stream, by the way. If it takes them 2-3 minutes to get the right decision, but it's the right decision, fine. Every football fan complains about how long it takes to make decisions. And I appreciate that because you want the game to move quickly, right? But every football fan would rather it take 3 minutes and the right decision be made than 20 seconds and the wrong decision be made. And that's what it felt like today. The VAR decision for the offside was about 10 seconds and they ruled it and it didn't make sense. It was a wrong decision. I'd rather they spend 2 minutes and get it right. Just my thoughts on it. Jose, appreciate your stream, my friend. From Twitch as well, man. Appreciate your stream. I don't understand how that Luis goal was given offside. No idea either. But one thing I will say is that I haven't even touched on that shot. What a fantastic finish by Luis Diaz, by the way. What a fantastic strike. So, yeah, I have to say, big up Luis Diaz for that one, man. Brilliant strike. Old players versus today players. Okay, that makes sense. Old players versus today players. Lampard versus Mount. No competition. No competition whatsoever, man. I think Lampard walks that one, to be completely honest with it. But, look, guys, I feel for Liverpool, man. I feel for Liverpool. Tottenham, fair play to them, man. They did very well. Very well indeed. Tottenham Hotspur. They win today. Where do they go from here, Tottenham? Where do they go from here? Obviously, let's look at their fixtures, actually. Let's look at both teams' fixtures. Starting with Tottenham. So, Tottenham fixtures, obviously, they're out of the Carabao Cup. So they've only got Premier League games to play. So, Tottenham played Liverpool and beat them 2-1 today. Then they go to Luton away. Now, Luton away is a tough game because obviously Luton, you don't know what it's about. Then they could do something dodgy. It's a home game. They beat Everton last week. They're on a bit of a flyer. But you look at that one and think, you know what? Tottenham should beat Luton away. So going into the next international break, if Tottenham win in the 12:30 kickoff, they go top of the table. I understand it's prematurely, but they can go top of the table. And Arsenal play Man City next weekend as well. So if Arsenal Man City draw, Tottenham could genuinely end this international break or go into the international break top of the Premier League, which is crazy to think, given that they lost Harry Kane 2 months ago. Wow. But look, that's at Luton Town. Then they've got Fulham. Then they've got Palace. Then they've got Chelsea. So look, the fixtures for Tottenham ain't too bad, man. Ain't too bad whatsoever. They've got a lot of teams to play against. Then obviously they could play Man City a little bit down the line as well. But yeah, Tottenham got to be feeling happy right now. On the flip side, you've got Liverpool. Now, Liverpool right now, obviously it's a tough game for them. They never wanted to draw that one whatsoever. They play Europa League in midweek. No one cares about that. Then they play Brighton away. Brighton away is a tough game, man. It's the early kickoff, 2 p.m. So that's the same Super Sunday as Arsenal Man City. What a Super Sunday that is, by the way, then. Brighton, Liverpool, then Arsenal Man City. Brighton will obviously look to right the wrongs from today, losing to Aston Villa. They've got a lot to change there. Then after the international break, they play Everton, which is also a massive game for them in the Merseyside derby. So Liverpool got some matches to play, man. Look, it's not doom and gloom around Liverpool. Obviously, they lost today, but they still have had a good start to the season. 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. It's not a bad return whatsoever, man. Not bad return one bit. They're still only 2 points off Man City with 7 games played. I think Liverpool can't be too disheartened whatsoever. So look, a lot still to play for in the Premier League this season. I won't be streaming tomorrow, I will say, guys, because obviously the game is a bit crap. No offense to either Nottingham Forest or Brentford. I'm not watching you two play each other. But we'll be streaming on Monday for Fulham versus Chelsea. Make sure you stay tuned for that. If you guys are watching, by the way, 31 people watching right now, drop a like down below, subscribe, join the journey on the road to 5,000 subscribers. I live stream after every single Arsenal game and most Premier League games, pretty much all big games in the Premier League. I give unbiased opinions. As you can tell, I am an Arsenal fan, but I will give unbiased opinions on whatever team I watch play. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, join the journey, and let us know your thoughts in the live chat. Do you think when ref approaches the monitor for a VAR decision, they should have framed where the foul exactly occurred? Would preset the mind of the referee to give it as a foul? Yes, Anish, very good point, and I agree with you. But I'd go a step further than that. I've seen the audio tapes that have been leaked. The referee, before he even reaches the monitor, is being told what he's seeing. Why does that make any sense? Before he even reaches the monitor, the VAR people tell him, you're going to see this. It looks like a foul. You're seeing him clatter into this player. Why are you telling him what's happening? The whole point of sending them to the monitor is so they make their own decision. Don't tell them what they're seeing. The referee says, oh, what am I meant to see here? Know what you meant to see, bro. Show them the screen. Don't say a single word and let them come to their own decision. I think the referees nowadays are to be honest, they're a bit pussies. They see that getting sent to monitor and just assume, all right, I'm being sent to monitor. I have to change my decision. That's how they look at it, man. That's how they look at it, genuinely. Because I look at it this way and think, how and why would that be, what's it called? A decision that the referee made by himself? It couldn't be, because he decided yellow cards. He's gone to monitor. They haven't even showed the video. They've just shown, as soon as he approaches the monitor, they've shown a screenshot of Curtis Jones's foot planting on Ibisuma's shin/lower leg. And he said, okay, from that point, it's going to be a red card. They can just speed it up, slow it down. It's going to be a red card at that point. There's no two ways about it. Now, I agree that it was a subjective one. I do think a red card was marginally the right decision. Very marginally, but I think it was the right decision for that one. The offside was definitely wrong. Made no mistake about it. And I think the Jota red card, the first one was never a yellow card, let alone a foul. So I think that one was wrong. But I think with the Curtis Jones one, it was slightly red card because by the letter of the law, he went stud showing on his upper ankle, shin, lower leg. It has to be a red in my opinion. But I do agree with you. I think I'm interested in the audio tapes because whenever I hear the audio tapes, man, it's like a Call of Duty lobby. You can't hear anything. They're all just talking over each other. I couldn't make a decision in that. Imagine, it's like in F1, right? When you got like the team radio and they're all shouting on at once. In F1, they make sure that no one, that the F1 radio guy is very calm. He doesn't shout at all. Why for this, right? Are they all just shouting over each other? It's impossible to make a decision. Absolutely impossible. To be honest, most of today's players wouldn't even make anywhere near the upper end of the tier list. Also, for example, personally, none of the current 11 will make the all-time 11. You see, you're right, C1, but only because of time factors, because they haven't retired yet. I think if this Arsenal team, if you fast forward 10 years and they retire, then maybe Odegaard makes an all-time Arsenal 11, Saka probably makes an all-time Arsenal 11, Saliba equally. They can. They just haven't retired yet, so you've got that nostalgia bias with the Tony Adams, the Martin Keowns, etc. Obviously, the Thierry Henry will forever be in an Arsenal 11, etc. The penalty given to Arsenal against United, they showed the frame with the ball hitting the player's hand. Would that set the referee mind to give it as a favourable decision to the team complaining? Exactly, man. And look, I think that was a penalty against Romero. I think they won against Havertz. At the time, I thought it was a penalty. Having watched it back a few times, I think the referee was right to not give a penalty against Manchester United when Havertz went down. But yeah, look, I think the referee's mind is pre-made even when he gets called to the centre monitor. Because the way it is in the Premier League, right, you only go to the monitor if you want them to change their decision. Otherwise, you just say check complete. So when the referees get sent to the monitor, he knows in his head, automatically, psychologically, that he's probably going to have to change his mind because they wouldn't send him to the monitor otherwise. That's wrong. Undue influence, coercion. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think they're telling the referee what he should be seeing. Let the referee do his job, man. Show him, just say, okay, I want to send you to a monitor. We're not sure, but I want you to make your own decision. That's it. Don't talk anymore. Let the referee do his own job, man. Call of Duty lobby. It is, man. Listen to audio tapes. They're just shouting over each other like a Call of Duty lobby. I couldn't believe it, man. It's like modern warfare. It takes me back to the old days when I was in school playing Call of Duty, man. I couldn't believe it, man. And they're all just talking over each other. No decisions getting made in that room, man. No decision whatsoever. But yeah, I also do want to talk about, guys, I appreciate that not everyone would have clicked on the stream for this. I want to talk about the earlier 3 p.m. kickers. I spoke about Bournemouth versus Arsenal, and obviously I didn't have a lot of time to review that game because obviously the game between Tottenham and Liverpool was starting. But I do want to talk about Man City, Wolves, and of course Manchester United against Crystal Palace. Let's start with United versus Crystal Palace. But first, get into this comment here. Either just remove the whole VAR like we have in India, or get it right. Get it right, is my opinion. I think VAR is not the problem. VAR is technology. Technology is ones and zeros. It's true or false. Technology cannot be wrong. It's the people implementing the technology that are completely rotten to the core. They're rotten, man. They're corrupt. They don't know what they're talking about. They're incompetent. Everything was wrong with it. Diaz was 100% onside. I said at the time, and I'm saying it now, onside. I've never seen in my whole lifetime watching football, since VAR has been introduced, such a blatantly wrong decision. Blatantly wrong. At least with other decisions, whether it's a handball, whether it's a VA, or whether it's a penalty, whether it's a red card, at least you can debate that. With an onside, it's not debatable whatsoever. It's black and white. It's true and false. That is blatantly onside. I've never seen a worse decision in my life with VAR. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm not a Arsenal fan, but I feel robbed as a Liverpool fan. But at the same time, still fair play to Spurs for finding a way to win that game. Because, look, I did not think a goal was coming in the last 5 minutes, but they found a way, man. They found a way. Home of Legend, appreciate you on stream. I think they'll be doing really well. Diaz was onside. He was 100% onside, man. 100%. No debate about it, bro. If anyone says he was offside, they're a Tottenham fan. And even Tottenham fans will say he's onside. Because I think only Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can give that one as offside, to be honest, man. That's the only explanation, man. Only explanation. Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder were in the VAR room, bro. That's the only way I can explain it. No other way, man. La Liga doesn't have VAR. They don't? I thought they do. No, I think they removed goal line technology. They didn't remove VAR, if I'm pretty sure. But yeah, they were. I think they removed goal line tech. They didn't remove VAR, if I'm not mistaken. I know games could be getting worse, but the original form of football would come back. Yeah, I know, man. OG football was my favorite, man. OG football. Howard Webb is corrupt. Yeah, the guy's been corrupt from minute one, man. You bring the guy that was in Silas Ferguson's pocket his whole time as a referee into the PGMOL leading position, and you expect good things to happen? Come on, man. It don't take an Albert Einstein genius to figure out that it's going to go wrong there. Allegedly, Tottenham paid the ref. Yeah, I'm not going to go that far, but bro, I mean, we've seen Barcelona do it potentially, so who knows, man? Maybe Ange Postecoglou's got him in his pocket. Not Stevie Wonder. I'm telling you, man. That's my only explanation. Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles were on VAR today. My only explanation, man. Either that or the impractical jokers. Yeah, the impractical jokers. They're in the what's it called? In the VAR room, telling them to make that decision. 100%. The only way I can think about it. But yeah, let's talk about the games from earlier. So Man United lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace. I did not watch the game, right? But having watched the 3-minute highlights on Sky Sports, I saw everything I needed to see. Man United once again are poor. They're defensively fragile. They don't look like they're good going forward. They've lost legs in midfield. Obviously, Amrabat's coming as a left back, just trying to invert. Man United look bad, man. They look bad. Now, I've always banked Man United turning it around because they've got quality players on the football pitch. But they do look shoddy United. I'm not lying when I say that, man. They do look a bad football team right now. He's got a lot of problems to fix, Erik ten Hag. Because if he's not fixing the problems, soon he will become the problem and get fixed himself. So look, he's got to have a hard on look at himself. And the off the pitch issues aren't helping United. Whether it's a Anthony situation, whether it's a Sancho situation, whether it's Rashford crashing his car, there's a lot of problems going on with Manchester United off the pitch, which I don't envy them for that. But I will say this, man: you take care of business on the football pitch. You take care of business on that pitch, and they're not doing that right now. For Man City, one thing I will say is I'm not gonna overreact because it's a one-game result. Anything can happen over a period of a 38-game season. You're gonna lose eventually. I didn't think City would go unbeaten in this league. I didn't think they'd lose today. Made a mistake about it, but I did not think they'd go a season unbeaten. But one thing I will say is this, right? Losing Rodri is a massive hit for Man City. Massive hit. He's a massive part of what they do, and he's a hole that cannot be fixed. Rodri, because of the way Man City play, Rodri is such a pivotal player to them. Now, if you replace him with Nunes, Calvin Phillips, Kovacic, it's not the same. It's not the same one bit. And Arsenal will be going into that game against Man City next weekend, licking their lips a little bit, thinking if there's ever a time to play Man City, it's now. They have to try and beat them. But let's see, man. Anything can happen. Do you think Ten Hag will get sacked? Not right now. I think he's still got some lifeline in him. He's won the Carabao Cup last season. He's got some time. People understand that what's happening with Man United right now off the pitch is a little bit of an issue. There's injuries that are piling up as well. I believe it's Lisandro Martinez. If it's not an ACL, it's an Achilles or something like that. He's always going to be out for an extended period. I feel for them a little bit, Man United, man. But either way, you should not be on 9 points after 7 matches if you're Manchester United. No way, man. That's a Chelsea record. But it was super entertaining match, end-to-end action, good build-ups, good counters, referee disaster class as usual. And you make a really good point, man. I agree referee disaster class. But one thing I will say is this. Even last season when Liverpool beat Tottenham 4-3, I think the Premier League standard of football has been so good this season, man. So good. So, yeah, I commend them 100%. All the teams in the Premier League, the quality's been brilliant. Yes, there's going to be some stinkers, like a Burnley, a Luton Town, a Sheffield United, a Bournemouth that are just horrible. But for the most part, the quality in the Premier League this season has been second to none. And I absolutely commend them. Fantastic overall. This is pure corruption. I feel you, bro. I really do feel you, man. I genuinely do. And look, we'll see. Look, I'm reviewing the game between Fulham and Chelsea on Monday, and I'm waiting for a VAR decision to mess up again in that game. You just seems like every game is decided by VAR. And that's not what you want, man. It's not what you want because you want a team to win the Premier League because they're the best team. And look, most occasions that will happen. When Man City won the Premier League last season, I was gracious in defeat. I said, fair play. They were the better team than us over a 38-game season. But you just know that on set matches in individual games were decided by VAR. And you don't want that because it can cost teams. It might not cost teams the title, but it could cost a team top 4. It could cost a team relegation. And we saw Aston Villa survive in the Premier League a few seasons back because not VAR that wasn't working, because the goal line tech wasn't working at some point. So bad decisions can cost you, man. It really can. Baldy will be gone, you think? 3 months is out. Yeah, I think give him till January at least. But trust me, if it keeps going bad, it could go very, very badly for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. The relegation battle won't even be entertaining this season. Last season, it was so good. So good, man. But look, I think it could be decent this season. It could be. But I wouldn't hold my breath too much on it because I appreciate that. There's a lot of bad teams in this Premier League, man. A lot of bad teams. I will do a Premier League tier list in the next international break. Next international break, I'm going to have a lot of content. A lot of tier lists coming out, etc. So if you're on your Andy, make sure you do subscribe. Let me know video suggestions, by the way, my community poll. Let me know video suggestions in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, if you're new around here, I do Premier League match reactions. I review every single Arsenal game. I preview Arsenal games as well. That's exclusive to channel members. But yeah, I review every Arsenal game, most Premier League games, etc. Champions League in midweek as well, guys. So streaming schedule. Let me go into the streaming schedule quickly. So tomorrow, no streams, unfortunately. I will be dropping a tactical analysis though for Arsenal against Bournemouth. Tactical analysis with my boy Rami from the Stats Optic. He's really been telling me he's been cooking it up, man, with all the stats, etc. Screenshots from the game, all the player analysis you need to understand how Arsenal beat Bournemouth 4-0 today. So that'll be coming out tomorrow. Won't be streaming the Premier League fixtures because, let's be honest, man, no one's watching Forest versus Brentford. Let's be real about it. I still don't know why this game wasn't played tomorrow. Liverpool Tottenham should have been played tomorrow, man. I don't get it. I will be streaming Monday for Fulham versus Chelsea, so stay tuned for that. Then I'll be streaming on Tuesday for Lens versus Arsenal in the Champions League. I'll be streaming Wednesday as well. Let me get the Champions League fixtures up, by the way, so I can tell you the streaming schedule. So, Monday, Fulham versus Chelsea, stream. Tuesday, Lens versus Arsenal, 10 p.m. stream starts. Wednesday, Newcastle versus PSG stream starts around 10 p.m. Thursday, no streams. I won't be covering Europa League. Friday, don't think there's going to be a stream then either, but I'll double check. I don't think there's a game on Friday Night Football this weekend. Friday, there is no game. Saturday, I'll be streaming Luton Town versus Tottenham at 12:30. I'll be streaming Manchester United versus Brentford at 3 o'clock. So 2 streams on Saturday. Sunday, I'll be streaming Arsenal versus Man City at 4:30. I won't do the Brighton Liverpool stream purely because I've got the Arsenal game, so there's no point streaming. But after the Arsenal Man City game, I will be talking about Brighton versus Liverpool in that Arsenal Man City stream. So stay tuned for that, Liverpool and Brighton fans. But that will be my streaming schedule for this week. Very busy week. Champions League and Premier League, man. A lot coming in. After that, it'll be international break. I won't be streaming for international matches because I couldn't care less, to be honest. But yeah, international break, yes. After the Arsenal Man City games, after next weekend, that's when it will be. Tomorrow is such a dry day. It's so dry, man. So dry. But look, it's one of those things, man. It's a circuit breaker at least. Gives me a day to recuperate, and focus on my other YouTube channels, man, because they get neglected when this football season. I can't lie a little bit, man. But yeah, over in this game, Tottenham have beaten Liverpool 2-1. Last minute goal, John Matip own goal. Liverpool got to feel hard done by, both by the referee and the fact that they lost the game, obviously, to a last-minute own goal. But it's the way the world works sometimes. It's elite-level sports. The margins happen. I appreciate everyone that's joined the stream. I'm going to watch UEFA Champions League on Tuesday. If they show it Man United, can I come on to talk about it? I don't think I'm going to be streaming that long because I've got university the day after my university starts, to be honest. So it won't be a long stream. But you can let me know in live chat if you want to see one. If you're going to watch Man United versus Galatasaray. Hopefully Galatasaray win. I'll have that game on actually on the side of me because I'm a Galatasaray fan. That's my Turkish team. So yeah, I'll have that game on the side, to be honest, see one. But yeah, let me know in live chat your thoughts when they're going to watch the game live, because I will be watching the game only like bit parts. I'll be mostly focusing on the Arsenal match. Newcastle versus West Ham would be a good match too. When is that? Let's see the fixtures. Newcastle West Ham would be a good match. It is 2 p.m. Yes, West Ham Newcastle at 2 p.m. Yeah, same time as Brighton versus Liverpool, unfortunately, so I won't be able to stream it. But look, it's one of those things, man. I hear you. It's one of those things. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Yeah, myself as well, man. Really good match to watch. I watched Real Madrid versus Las Palmas, man. So yeah, it's always good to watch games when you're neutral. I feel like it's really nice. Obviously, you probably want Galatasaray to win that match because I'd want Galatasaray to win as well. Given that first I'm a Galatasaray fan, but even then I want them to win either way. But yeah, it's nice to watch games when you're neutral in the stadium because you can just embrace the atmosphere and drink it in. When you're watching games when you support the team, it's obviously the best feeling ever. But you feel like charged in the match. You can't really enjoy it because you're so focused on getting the win. Do you get what I mean? So yeah. Hopefully you enjoy it. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that's joined the stream today. Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1, Tottenham and Arsenal, North London United, man. The 2 teams that remain unbeaten in the Premier League so far this season. If you've just joined now and appreciating this football content, I react to basically every single televised Premier League game, apart from tomorrow, because tomorrow's game is crap. But we're back on Monday. Make sure you drop a subscription down below and like the video as well. I've been Michael. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Got to go ahead into the bed. W stream, W takes. Take care. Take care as well, Anish, man. I appreciate you joining the stream, man, and leaving your feedback and thoughts as always. I appreciate you guys all for joining the stream today. Subscribe down below, and I hope to catch you all in my next one.